here. If this didn't exist, would you know that I had? That I'd lived a life some thought good, others bad? Reacted when helped or when hurt in a way that some found horrific and others okay. Opinions are everywhere, but they do not mean that someone is brilliant, useless, or obscene. Thoughts are just thoughts, but facts are the truth. Sadly for humans, they're too often skewed. When overthinking means that you no longer see the truth that you live, it can be hard to be. Bombarded with opinions, presented as fact, can cause one to crumble and eventually crack.
What do you know about MECFS? It comes out of nowhere, but you can feel it. The pain, the exhaustion, losing all power until all you can do is sleep and fail. Unheard, unseen. When one of us dies, the others show a blue rose on their social media profile. It's meant to be seen. Take notice. Show support. "17 million people suffer from MECFS worldwide. "17 million. Hear our voices.
It's not simple to say that most days I don't recognize me, that these shoes and this apron, this place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never attention sweet center. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. And it's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. Now I got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two for the girl that I knew who'd be reckless But who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by a man who can't love? Then she'll get stuck and be scared of the life that's inside her, getting stronger each day, till it finally reminds her to fight just a little, to bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone but used to be mine. Oh, used to be mine. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine.
I have carved wood for a long time, but 3 years ago, due to ignorance and pushing myself too hard, my Emmy pots deteriorated until I was mostly bed and sofa bound. I had worked with a heavy mallet and big gouges. But that would soon cause PEM now, and anyway, I am unable to tolerate being upright for long due to pots. I really felt that my carving days were sadly over. But I changed my approach. I now use small hand tools and lie down to avoid the pots. I limit my time carving to just a few minutes, as the concentration along with the physical effort can still cause PEM. I set a time limit on my watch and take heed of the heart rate monitor. I found a new way to hold my work. I use lime wood, which is generally easier to carve, and now do relief rather than 3D. This is my latest project, which took several months to complete. He is Father Brendan, and he is nearby one of the beehive cells that he built in 542 AD to live in, and which can still be found on a nearby island. I have tried to get some detail into the ropes and the cross, and also the creases and the folds in his robes. It is such a pleasure to experience that satisfying feeling of bringing a new meaning to a piece of wood again.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and I have had this disease my entire life. In some ways, I guess it's a blessing. Most people, you'll hear their story begin with that they were in school or a doctor or an athlete, and then suddenly the disease took everything away. But for me, I never had energy. Remember sitting on the schoolyard as a kid and just watching other kids run around and wondering how they did it. I have lived through art for a long time, reading books and writing them and imagining myself dancing, because God, I would love to dance, but It's been a long time since I have. Art is everything. Art allows us to be things that we aren't right now, and it gives us hope for the future. This is my favorite painting that I did. I'm not sure why exactly, but it feels like hope. There's a lot of movement in my work, and in this case, just feels like reaching out for something more than what we have. Despite everything, I try to be happy every day and be thankful for what I can do. You know, there are a lot of people who are bedbound with this disease, and even if it takes everything out of me just to take a shower, hey, at least I can take a shower. So, wishing everyone the best.
Alfred, we arrived at the docks. Which building is Bane keeping the hostages in?
Sending you the coordinates now, sir.
Got it. Let's go, Robin.
Batman, long time no see.
I'm not in the mood for games, Bane.
Very well. Straight to breaking your spine it is then.
Robin, grab the hostages. I'll deal with Bane.
On it.
Time to finish this, Batman.
Alfred, we're done here.
Nicely done, sir. Commissioner Gordon is on his way. I believe Mr. Freeze has taken over Ace Chemicals.
Thanks, Alfred. We're on our way.
we experience time geologically, it makes me think about the space and shape of time. This state is much harder to get out of than to fall into. It's like falling into a vortex. It's like falling into some kind of trap, in fact, or feedback loop. Like, in one theory, it's called the metabolic trap, and that the body gets easily stuck in this metabolic feedback loop caused by an initial stressor that's much harder to break out of than to break into. Regardless of the specific science, this is this horrible state that one kind of more easily falls into than falls out of, and it makes me think of the shape of a vortex or a gyre or a whirlpool, and it makes me think also of the idea of sort of with the horrible acceleration and noise and heat of extreme capitalist modernity, that I always wanted to find a way to slow or stop time, and for a lot of reasons, and to escape from it into some kind of protective vortex or tesseract or folded piece of space-time. And so maybe through music or art or meditation is one way to do that. It's just some thoughts on vortexes and gyres and traps and feedback loops. And I don't know exactly how to find these things, but I'd like to.
Hi, I'm Chris. I got ME 14 years ago after a flu, and I was fully disabled in 6 months. I was severely ill and in constant pain and brain fog. Then 4 years ago, I realized I had ME and started a pacing program to stop relapses. Suddenly, the pain cleared and I could do a few things again. Then I started Abilify, and my mind cleared enough to learn to do fractal digital art. My body is too injured to do physical art anymore. Being able to make beautiful things is a great relief to me and gives me something nurturing to do. Here are clips of creatures I developed for a game my son is working on. The song is from my husband's band, Matt Blyton Band. My life is so much better immersed in art with my family.
Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm 55 years old, and I was first diagnosed with CFS 20 years ago, and of course it's now called ME, but I struggle with that every day. About a year and a half ago, my case has gotten much more severe. One of the things that I do with my time when I'm able is to paint or do multimedia pieces of art. I do artwork to help cope with the isolation and some of the other things that happen when you have ME. And this is something I painted a year ago, and I have not been painting for about a year, well, a little over a year. My symptoms have gotten much worse, and I've developed more of the symptoms that are on the charts for ME. So I'm not painting as often. I miss it. It really brightens my day to be able to paint, just to be able to get my feelings and my anxiety out on canvas really feels good, and I sleep better, and everything just seems to work out better when I'm able to paint. What I chose to show you is this dove, because when I think of a dove, I think of hope. And that's what I wish for myself and for all of us with ME, is that we hold on to hope and find a way to hope for the future. Thanks for watching.
Grief has 8 legs. Grief has been pestering you lately. She crawls around inside me, sharpening her fangs on my bones. She scuttles back and forth and hides in places I'd least expect. Grief has 8 legs, and each one stomps all over my heart. Yesterday I found her lurking behind the memory of racing back home in the rain, running at full speed, with water sloshing around in my shoes and slithering down the back of my neck. Next thing I knew, she darted over to a feeling I'd all but forgotten, seeing the world spin around as I badly attempted a cartwheel and barely made it off the grassy ground. The other day I even found her building a web around the sights and sounds of public transport. Who knew you could feel nostalgia for waiting on a train platform, minding the gap, finding an empty seat with a proper table? I can see the trains going by from my bedroom window. They rush by with no time to stop and say hello to a sick girl stuck in bed. And why should they? People have places to be, things to do. The world outside continues with or without me in it. I wonder if pub tables still feel sticky and cinemas still smell of popcorn. I wonder if public bathrooms still have graffiti, if church bells still toll, if the old woman with the guitar still busks outside Sainsbury's. If I woke up tomorrow in a healthy body, would Starbucks baristas still spell my name wrong? Would sand still feel the same between my toes? Would freshly cut grass still make my eyes burn? Would I remember how to do things like order off of a menu, navigate using a map, or buy a bus ticket? Grief hides herself among the mundane details of everyday life, and I'm left yearning for small talk with cashiers. I'm at a loss for what to do about grief. I've written about her, I've spoken about her at length. I've gotten down on my knees and begged her to leave me be, but it's never enough. She's never satisfied. She keeps leaving cobwebs all over the place, and I run around after her cleaning them up. I'm growing weary of this constant chase. I think I need to find a way to make peace with the fact that my body has 3 inhabitants: myself, chronic illness, and grief.
Hi there, wonderful people with ME. My name is Judith. I'm in Austria and I'm severe since about 1.5 years. And yeah, I like to write and paint, and I wanted to share with you one painting. I've chosen a self-portrait because because it has this frog figure that I invented with the green skin, because I felt too sick to use normal skin color, and my head is very often inflamed and burning. So yeah, that's the open head with the red nerves or snakes coming out of it. And there's some punctures in it as well, because my ME got really awfully severe after lumbar puncture, and so I guess I have these 2 punctures in my back. In general, I also like to do less weird, more positive stuff, but I guess whatever the expression, it always is pain management for me, you know. The bright and the dark, and, but it never takes away the pain completely. So I also don't want to be like somebody that, you know, deals with this heroically by art, you know. It's just my way of surviving.
Hi, my name's Kate Kennington-Steer. I'm a writer and photographer and visual artist. I was diagnosed with ME in 1990, and since that year I have symptoms that no doctor's quite been able to get to the bottom of. Some say it's a symptom of ME, some say it's non-epileptic attack disorder, some say it's dissociative seizures, some say that it's actually a separate functional neurological disorder. Whatever you call it, it often leaves me unable to move and unable to speak for anything from a couple of moments to 5 hours. And since September last year, I've been attempting to find a way to distract myself from the pain and to click my struggling neurons onto a different track. And so I am digital finger painting. And this triptych, I Lift My Eyes, is done on an iPad whilst experiencing a seizure, when the only thing I can do is to try and stab or swipe or blob at a screen with a single clawed and often crooked finger. It's one way of expressing how difficult ME is at that moment in my life.
Dower. I am a worm in winter. Inside, sickly sweet sap for blood. It's embalming fluid. It shuts me down. My voice is brittle. My hair is brittle. I am prone to cracking. Fragility is damned and beautiful. I speak my brittle voice as if from behind a layer of glassine or glass. My heart pumps slow and heavily, driving the winter sap through my body. Something heavy lies resigned in my veins. On the window panes, crystals waltz slowly, accumulating stasis. I am the inside of a cell in a whale's blubber. I am someplace so deep in the ocean that light has to work to get there. I shiver, ice is in my bones, slowing time for me. I can see through the amber on my coffin, and I am fighting the encroaching chill. There are songs that come from within ice. There are long seasons that sing to the body, that wrap it tight like pagan gods. My new residence is Kronos' coffin, wrapped in capillaries of frost. Ice gods have no mercy. Their fragility is an infection, diffusing outward from the axis mundi. More brittle than angry, their Midas touch turns flesh to glass and tin, turns irises purple-gray. The silver in me reacts to light, needs to be washed and affixed, angrily begging to be burned in acid. Freezing a thing preserves it at the cost of life. A photograph needs a victim. A taxidermied bear loses its grandeur, becomes harmless. I lose my energy one electron at a time. Memories calcify. Enduring is a function of metabolism. An infant or a hummingbird thrum a spring music with their hearts and wings. I sing icebergs creaking, my vision fogged like frosted glass.